Well, some games have a margin that's big and some have a margin that's big. Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. India has won the third and final T20I of this series by a mammoth 91 runs. That's right, 91 runs. That's a big margin. We've got a big show here today. I'm Gaurav Kapur, with me Ajay Jadeja and Bhattacharjya, who are going to tell you just how decisive this win was, how dominating this win was. Choida, we were talking about this. We were talking about the fact that India will want to stamp their authority on this game. But after this game, I want to say that, as Saurabh Shukla said in Lage Raho Munna Bhai, घर बुला के कोई ऐसा करता है क्या?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, no sense of decorum with this thing.
थोड़ा
Guests
तो
है, कुछ है.
अतिथि देवो भव थोड़ा
Exactly. Let the tail at least wag a bit.
Exactly. This is too much.
Yeah. The tail did not wag at all. They just snipped it off.
Yeah, but talk about stamping authority. Jeez, this is one of those statement wins.
Statement win. And again, India, bilateral series, 1-1. I mean, just see India's record in the last 3, 4, 5 years. When it's 1-1, we've always converted, almost always converted to 2-1.
Yeah, well, it's, I think, 12 series in a row now, one at home. So, yeah, but let's just talk about today's win first. A decisive win, a dominating win.
I mean, you can't get any more dominating than this. You bat first, you put that score on,
228.
228, which has never been achieved in India, maybe once by some other teams.
In a World Cup, I think. Yeah.
And, then you wrap up. This is how you should be treating these teams. And that's how it is. Only one question that I have for all the people who want to bat second in a 2020 over game.
Yeah.
Even if you look at the stats, batting first, you score many more times 200. Not you, generally in this game.
Yeah.
But still people want to bat second.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, today, of course, Hardik won the toss and decided to bat first. But last game, he had decided to bowl first. Right?
Exactly.
We know the results now.
No, I'm not going into result. I'm saying...
I would say both teams. No, by that I mean both the teams batting first.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, when you put them in last time, got 200 plus. Yeah. Today, India has got 200 plus. There is virtue...
So I'm saying whoever has scored 200s ever, whichever team in the world, how many ever times, it happens more times when the first team scores it.
Correct.
The second team somehow doesn't get to that same wicket, same condition, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But still, everybody feels that it's better to bat second in this game.
Yeah.
And, so I'm just a little question there. Stats are showing that batting first, you have a better chance of getting to 200.
Yeah, and today, wow, India got to 200. And obviously, when Suryakumar Yadav plays like Suryakumar Yadav plays, it's service as per usual from him. He was the star of the show today, got 145 balls and then was not out for 112. And then we'll show you that match summary again, because for Sri Lanka, it was, well, slim pickings when it came to the batting, because you needed a lot of people to do 50-odd, not 20-odd, which is what they got today. But for Arshdeep Singh, today was a good day after the previous day where he had 5 no balls in the previous game 2 days ago. Today he picked up 3 wickets for 20. Hardik Pandya picked up 2 wickets as well, and good to see Yuzi Chahal amongst the wickets as well. I don't think in a 200 game you will mind, Yuzi won't mind going for 10 and over as long as he gets those 2 wickets, right? Even the captain won't mind.
No, absolutely. And I think what happened is exactly as we thought with Sri Lanka. They kept till the 10th over. Remember, they were 51 for 1 when we were 51 for 2. They were 51 for 2 when we were 51 for 1.
Yeah.
Then they were 91 for 2,
4.
For 4 when we were
92 for 2.
92 for 2.
There you go.
So they kept in touch with us, but they didn't have the wickets in hand.
Yeah.
And that's bound to happen because you're chasing. It doesn't matter whether you lose by 50 runs or 100 runs. You lose. It's a bilateral. Run rate doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
So they had to go for it. They did. And what happens when you go for it is that you're likely to lose a bunch of wickets. Also, bowlers like leggies and bowlers like Umran Malik, who are really fast, who bustle you through, they tend to get wickets because you have to take chances.
Yeah.
And if somebody's bowling fast and straight, and the chances are you're going to miss. Similarly, a leggy is going to float it up. You're bound to miss it 1 or 2 of those. So I think it was a situation set up for us to do well there.
Yeah.
And then it played out exactly like it should have.
Yeah, if you were to look at this series, obviously India's won the series 2-1. But let's say if we still had to kind of pick at it and say what are the things that you could improve, I'll start. It's 2-1, it should be 3-0, yeah. Oh, naughty. Coming back to this, but in terms of, obviously there's a lot of pluses, but where would you like to see, whether it's in thought or in execution?
Look, I think this series has been pretty good. I mean, except for, first couple of games, your batters didn't score runs and, they just got out. That is something that you can't say it's a thought or, something that you need to improve. That's a general basic. And those were the only two games that Sri Lanka anywhere came close to you. I mean, you got, beaten in one game and,
First one
was close enough. So they came close. But if you bat well enough with the quality of batting that you have, whichever style, because even today, I know Suryakumar, leave Suryakumar Yadav, everyone else just batted the way they can. Shubman Gill, first time in this series, did what he is capable of doing or what he is good at doing. He's more consistent when he plays the way he knows how to play, which is not what India wants to see with their openers and the style of play. So that is a separate issue. So if you bat well enough, the Sri Lankan team you knew was going to be a side who does well to that totals. They come in, they score 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s. That's exactly what you got from them. So the opposition that you were playing, I don't see that, you could have done anything else. What made me really happy throughout the series was a couple of things. One, to see Akshar and that partnership where you were really out and gone. You still lost that game, but that is the way to approach
the fight.
Right. So that was good to see. And then only because of an injury you had a change. Otherwise you didn't have, we are trying out people. Thank God we are not trying out people and we are selecting people now.
That's good. I like that. Let's pick on those things one by one. Akshar Patel, Bapu, fantastic this series.
Fantastic. And it's even a very interesting situation for India because now you looking forward, he's playing well enough for you to say, do we play both Jadeja and him? That's one of the questions.
Why not?
Because he's good enough now. And you have the other person who has impressed, of course, he's not playing here today, is Washington Sundar. So you have three, maybe add Hardik, you have four bona fide Indian all-rounders in a T20 team.
We won.
That's not a bad place to be.
Oh, it's a very good place. We won
and if you can play matches with three of these people, at least three of these four playing, the kind of options you'll have are fantastic. So I think that is, for me, one of the biggest things, that the more Akshar's batting comes on, the more India's batting strengthens, therefore the more bowlers they can play, the more they can attack.
Yeah, this is something that Rahul Dravid said after the second game as well. Looking at Washi, Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar Patel, he says that our stock of spin bowling all-rounders is really good. And it is. And then you add Hardik there. If we could get another one or two, but that's very rare, right? A fast bowling all-rounder.
Yeah,
those are rarer to come by.
You don't need more than this because say if you play all three or four, all four. The trick is now when you play all these four, say put this four in the middle. So where are you going to take out from? Are you going to take out the pure bowlers?
Batting or the pure batsman?
Yeah. So I think what we've tried in the last few years is that every time you've had an all-rounder or whatever, all what you take out is a pure bowler. We've never taken out a batsman because when you have an all-rounder, he's a batsman, bowler, batsman, whichever way you want to look at it. These guys are all pretty good. So say you put in all four. You can play all four. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Because they can all bat well enough.
Australia has done that. They can play four all-rounders in white ball.
Right. But you will not see that when they play all-rounders, the last three or four bowlers that they have, they will be pure bowlers. Then they don't look at their batting. Then they look at just who's the best bowler.
Yeah.
So you can even add, I mean, it's just a wild thought. You can even add another all-rounder, say pure bowler all-rounder, Ashwin kind of a person as well.
Yeah.
So you can add that. But the problem is when you add these all-rounders, what you tend to do is you still keep the top 5, 6 batsmen.
Yeah.
Then add these guys as, all-rounders.
Great point.
And then the bowling is a little weaker.
Yeah. So if you play 4 proper bats, 3 all-rounders, and then 4 proper bowlers.
See, I think
then you're set. That means you have 7 batting options and 7 bowling options.
You have to ask yourself, can Ravindra Jadeja bat at 5? Can Hardik Pandya bat at 5? Of course he can. Can Ravindra Jadeja bat at 6? Of course he can. Can Akshar Patel bat at 6? I believe he can. Maybe he's a better 7 now. They're looking at him as a 7 now. But can Washington Sundar bat at 6? Definitely.
He can open. He's opened.
So, what are we talking about? So, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of these in the middle. And then 4 pure attacking bowlers. The Siraj kind of bowlers. The guys who will get you wickets.
Yeah.
The guys who are not scared of they'll just go there. And you don't need to bowl all of them. You don't need to bowl all of them. They don't need to finish their spells. But hey, the most successful, T20 captain we've had, Dhoni, reveled in not bowling bowlers out.
Yeah.
Using bowlers when he needed to.
Yeah.
But that's ideally a captain wants that, right? I mean, if I have 5 bowlers and I'm playing, you know exactly that either I'll bowl X, Y or Z. So you could plan as an opposition. But if I have 7, 8 bowlers who could bowl at different stages. How does the opposition plan against you? So you run the game.
Yeah.
And Mahendra Singh Dhoni was a champion in it.
Yeah.
There'll be days that Ravindra didn't bowl a single ball.
Harbhajan Singh
You know,
wasn't in the ball
so the
at all.
batsman would, wait, ki, acha, jab mera bowler aayega, he kept waiting. He got him in the next season. So that's the advantage of having these guys. And having them is one, and then using them. So I just hope that we don't take out the bowlers. You know, because batsmen can get out.
Yeah.
So if you're having
You need 20 overs to be bowled. I've always said it. That's what Ajay always says on Cricbuzz Live. You have to bowler pure khilao. Bowler. You should start a hashtag. Hashtag bowler pure khilao.
hashtag bowler pure khilao. I'll tell my daughter कल से आज reel बनाई है, कल से hashtag भी बनाई.
कल से hashtag भी आ जाएगा.
And what is the difference between a pure bowler and a bowler who can bowl?
Yeah.
Umran Malik is a very good example. He still doesn't have good numbers. I mean, even today he doesn't have great numbers. But see, when Hasaranga, Karunaratne, and all-rounders of the opposition of that kind against pure bowling like that do not succeed.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
But you see, look at Australia won with all-rounders. England won this World Cup because there's all these bowling options, and that's how Butler rolls, right? That's how the captain rolls. He likes all these options in his pocket.
And not only that, the kind of bowlers you now have, they're attacking bowlers.
You have, the key is what Joyda saying.
There you go.
That you have them. If you don't have them, then you have to make do with what.
Second, they got
Just
Mark.
imagine.
Yeah.
You have Jasprit Bumrah, of course.
Yeah.
You have a bowler. Siraj, you said. Umran Malik. Arshdeep Singh. You've got here. And who's the young man? Mavi Kobi. So I'm saying these 4 fast bowlers. Then your 3 all-rounders.
Yeah.
Right?
Washington.
You got 7. Now you pick your best 4 batsmen.
Yeah. True.
And look at that side. So those 4 pure batsmen.
Surya plus 3, you mean?
So whoever, I'm saying, so those 4 are good enough on their day.
Yeah.
You need these all-rounders only when you need them, and in that 4 all-rounders we've adding Hardik Pandya in it,
Hardik,
Ravindra in it,
and
Akshar in it.
Yeah.
So you've got enough batting, but then you got this bowling of this kind, and out of those 4, if you don't want to play Chahal one day,
and play
if it's turning and 3
yeah.
fast bowlers. So there is no stage the opposition batsman is ever thinking, Acha, now where should I hit this guy, or who am I going to target?
Because you just keep going at them. Just keep going.
Yeah. The left-hander batsman gets going.
Aggressive.
Your left-arm spinner doesn't come on for a while.
Yeah.
Washington Sundar keeps bowling. How does it matter?
Yeah, we must. That's another big plus of this series has been Umran Malik, and the fact that we just spoke about Butler and the England winning the World Cup. He had Mark Wood, his 150 enforcer. We've had Umran, the 150 enforcer here.
No, you are now looking at this as the enforcer. The enforcer before used to be the spinner in the middle. Now it's the Lockie Fergusons, the Mark Woods, and the Umran Maliks of the world.
Yeah.
They are the guys who are coming in and bustling in that overs 8 to 14.
Yeah.
And those
Nokia.
are... Yeah, exactly. All crucial spells. None of these guys traditionally are opening the bowling. Yeah. They're all coming in after 6, and they're coming in and stamping their authority in the middle. And that's an interesting thing, because a lot of people have noticed that, he said this many times, Jadeja said this many times, that teams will get 50 in the last 5, no matter what happens. As long as they have 4-5 wickets in hand, they'll end up getting 50.
Correct.
Normally, they'll always end up. So then what happens? It's your start, it's this middle. This middle is crucial to what happens. And if you're getting bowlers who dominate this middle, it's going to make a big difference. And Umran Malik is that kind of bowler in conditions, not just in India, because also his pace is in the air.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how much slower is he going to get off the pitch? So he doesn't need pitches to help him to really bustle in.
It's I'm just saying, Umran, you want to?
No,
I know you're very impressed by the young boy.
Because I love this sort of play. I mean, not to say the others are not good. Everybody has a skill. Like, Harshal has a skill which is special, which Umran can't do. So how you want to play, and this is even before the last World Cup when we were saying the choices that we had, is that how you want to play. You are blessed. I think Indian cricket has never had this kind of fast bowling talent available to them.
Yeah.
At least in my memory. You would have 1 or 2. So you would have to make your strategy according to what you had, like what Sri Lanka is in at this stage. But at the moment, we don't look at India. I mean, how you want to play? You want to play with, Bumrah and these guys, or you want to, Shami, I'm not adding to it, maybe it's towards, but Shami is, whether you use him with the new ball, in the middle, in the end.
Lethal bowler.
Rather than, when you have a template of playing, I feel in a 20-20 over game, it is the biggest disadvantage a team can have.
Nice.
Because the opposition also works on your team. They have a computer, they have a thought process. They will be able to plan something against you.
Yeah.
Whereas when you play with a template that only you know today's template is this, tomorrow could be different, it is very difficult for the opposition team to work towards it.
Take the
Then
options and
obviously
be unpredictable.
Yes. And you have these I mean, there's a mindset in bowling. And I'm not saying that Umran Malik is the answer to everything in the world. Maybe, he might, go off the boil. He may not be fit in 6 months' time. And he may not be bowling this way.
Anything can happen, yeah.
But the way he is bowling at the moment, the way he's running in, there isn't a bowler in India that I've seen for a very long time. Srinath is the last one I remember. And I keep repeating this. I think somewhere else I said the same thing. That I said, because we had not had a fast bowler before Srinath like that kind of pace, we wanted Srinath to be like Venkatesh Prasad. Because he was so consistent. So, he would get wickets every time. He would bowl that length that everybody loves to see. But this fellow has something special.
Yeah.
So try and use him as he's... And I must be, complimentary here to Hardik Pandya. Maybe I have some other complaints with him. But the way he's used Umran Malik in this series, because he's used him totally differently. Even today, he brought him back. When that tail comes, you bring Umran Malik or you bring in a genuine, Chahal, of course. That's an attacking bowler. Or you bring in anybody who we say ke 4 over dalta hai. There will be 8 times out of 10, 4 overs against a player who samne wala is a 7, 8, 9, 10. Against your bowler who say 4 over dalta hai, they'll get 20, 25, 30, 8 times out of 10. Against Umran Malik, yes, twice it might be 40 in those 4 overs. Yeah. But 8 out of 10 times, he'll get you 3 wickets there and finish the game.
So attacking option. So there you go. That's what this captain has done. That's what Hardik has done. You've seen this series. You have the attacking options and you're using them. You're optimizing them. You're doing it at the right time. I think the one thing we must discuss, while the bowling has been good, the top 5 batters of the top order will definitely look at this and say, oh, Surya is carrying us. We perhaps need to up that game. So if there's some shortcoming, perhaps in this series, which was batting-friendly tracks, the Indian batting overall could have collectively done better.
I think they could have, and I think even, Shubman would look at his own starts and wonder that he needs to give faster starts. Look, I don't blame somebody like Rahul Tripathi because Rahul Tripathi is played to the best of his abilities. Yeah. And his abilities are that he will attack, he will take chances and attack in the middle. To his capacities, he's played well. Ishan hasn't come off, and that's been a bit of an issue because when he comes off, obviously it's a completely different ball game because, he gives India those explosive starts. So, but other than Ishan, I think with now Ishan and Surya, you've got 2 definites out there. Okay? Now the rest, whether we need 4 or we need 5, who are the other 3 other questions that we need to answer? And especially for a T20 team. And are we clear that, say, KL Rahul is no longer part of the T20 setup? Are we clear that Rohit is part of it, not part of it? These things now Indian cricket needs more clarity on.
Yeah, and considering that this year the focus will be on the ODI World Cup, you are playing enough T20 cricket. There is a World Cup in 18 months. I mean, you've got to plan for the future. You've had 2 World Cups which have not been good. So you've got to plan for the future. So I think what Joy is saying, those are very valid questions.
Yeah, they're valid questions. Again, like fast bowling, I think batting is the same key. You've got talented players. They're all very talented. The names that, Joydas just mentioned have been around for 15 years. You know exactly what you get from them.
Yeah.
There's nothing new you are going to get. Shubman Gill is still relatively new, but I feel Joyda is asking for more than what we will get out of him.
Absolutely.
Because even in the 2-year career that you see, when has he had a good year? At GT, what was his thing? He was what he did today.
Yeah.
What he tried doing in the first 2 games is not what he tried it in KKR where he wasn't as successful. So what I've seen with Shubman is that you may get consistency with him, but you're not going to get that explosiveness. So if you want that, then you got to go the other way. And Ishan, I think, is too early to make a big call. Big double 100, that was great to watch. I'm a firm believer. On your good day, how long can you take it? The other 2 games he's got out totally differently. Today it was going away, 1 came back. And this will happen to everyone. So if you believe in him, stick with him. When he gives you, he'll give you what you want.
Yeah.
But between Ishan Kishan and Shubman Gill, if there's ever a choice, I don't think there's a doubt. What you want solidity, there's a man on the right. You want explosiveness, there's a man on the left. Both will get out, both will score runs. But assurity more often. What do you want is a call that you need to make.
Yeah.
That is all that we need to
got the
make.
people.
Talking about KL Rahul that you said, I don't know. Poor fellow was leading the test match team
For like 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. He was vice captain last year in the World Cup. And I believe the team that's been picked for the one day, he's not the vice captain anymore.
No,
now,
he's
now we have
Hardik.
Hardik Pandya as vice captain. So, it is tough on the boys. I mean, it must be tough on KL Rahul. We saw what happened with Rishabh Pant. I mean, it was same a year ago with him. He was captain of the side, then out of
Vice
the side.
captain of the side.
No, he was leading one of the series.
Correct. Yeah, one series he was leading, and then he was
And then you're sitting out.
Yeah.
And it is very difficult because, sitting out, I'm an expert at, I've, probably highest matches sat out as in test matches. So I can tell you, when you come in, when you're a young man, there is no problem. You're only gaining knowledge, you're getting, you're good for the team. But if you've led that side and those 10 people who are playing today and you're sitting out, you were the captain when you were, 6 months ago, and when you're sitting out, it is not an easy place to be for any human being.
Yeah.
So whether it was Rishabh Pant, now what happens to KL Rahul, we'll wait and watch what they do, because now you've got, somebody who's got a double 100.
Yeah.
How are you going to leave him out? Then you've got a captain. So KL Rahul anyway was batting at 4. So then where do you put Surya? Surya goes at further back.
But if in ODIs, how do you leave Shreyas out after the year he's had?
So that's
right.
So this is a problem.
And Virat is also back, by the way.
Said. Huh?
So Virat is back for the next series.
No, Virat, of course.
So
I mean,
he's going to bat at 3.
There's no. I mean, for me, at one-day cricket or test match, there's no debate. Virat Kohli at 3 is.
And 4 in tests, yeah. But him at 3 in ODI cricket is, I mean, that's you'd probably write his name first.
Yeah. So I'm saying that's why I didn't even go there. But everybody around him, you still have a choice how you want to play.
Yeah.
You want Hardik Pandya, he can bat at 4.
But we spoke about this. We spoke about this before the previous game, where we said, the way Hardik has been speaking, we spoke after the first game, before the second game, he's got the demeanor of not a stand-in captain.
No, absolutely.
He was talking like this is his team, like it maybe formally not yet, and now you can see informally. He's the president-elect. He's the captain in waiting. He's the prince, right, who's waiting for the throne.
No, clearly he's got a mandate. Clearly he's got a mandate. He's had a conversation. He's had a mandate. And I don't think it's bad. As long as everyone is clear what is happening. As long as KL Rahul is clear, this is why you're in the team, this is why you're not in the team, this is why you're captain, this is why you're not vice captain. I'll tell you, about a year back, Dravid took a very strong decision telling Riddhiman Shah that you're no longer a part of our test setup. We're going with Rishabh Pant and we're going there. And there were lots of people, Riddhiman was really upset about it. He felt he had a few more ways. I think it was a perfect thing to do. Be honest, be upfront, be straight with the person, say, this is it, you're not a part of this setup. Don't put any false expectations, close the chapter there.
Yeah.
And I think we would love to have many more such clear conversations in Indian cricket. Because if KL Rahul knows, okay, this is what it is, I'm a part of this setup or I'm not a part of this setup, this is why I'm no longer vice captain, this is what I need to do to become vice captain again or to become captain again, this is what the team expects me to score, and if I don't score at this rate, then my game is in trouble. This clarity, all that we need now is for clear conversations to happen. And obviously some conversations happen with Hardik. Because the way he's behaving, clearly somebody has spoken to him and said that, we are looking to you in the future.
Rahul has told me, so from the horse's mouth, KL Rahul told me that test series in England where they made him open, and before that it very clearly said we're not looking at KL Rahul as an opener, we're looking at him as a middle over player in test cricket, as a middle order batter. And he said when Ravi and Virat came up to him to say, because they ran out of openers, basically, right? Everyone got injured. Yeah. They had to promote Rahul to open. And Rahul said they came to me, it was almost like it was like a funny conversation, like we don't know what to say to you, but are you willing to open, even though we've told you we won't? And he said, of course, I'll do anything for the team. And I thought that was a great, frank conversation to have.
Honest conversation.
Where you're going, we took a call this way, but now situations have changed. And when situations change, you have to adapt to them. And we're feeling a little sheepish about it, but this is what it is. Do you want to do it? And he said, yeah, I'm jumping up to do it. So you're hoping that those are the kind of conversations that are happening even now. And but the way Hardik is behaving, it seems like that conversation has been had with Hardik. He's just that confident, and it just seems he's that confident. But what have you made of his captaincy in this series?
Oh, I mean, like I said, he used Umran well. He's done all the right things the way I enjoy. He's been happy, nice. The only thing that I would, like to, if I see him again, when I see him, I'd say, listen, just because a week ago you were not captain and a week later you're captain, doesn't mean you still don't have to run as fast as you were running or fielding as well or being as athletic as you were. You as a player should not go down.
Yeah, fair.
You as a player should, still, in fact, get enhanced because now you use yourself much better. And just don't worry about the team alone. Because you as a champion player I think is probably more important than you leading. Because at the moment, we've still got Rohit Sharma, who's been leading, and everybody thinks Rohit Sharma and his record shows that he is the best captain. So, Prince, what did you say in waiting?
I said president-elect, king in waiting.
So there is never a king in waiting. All kings had to grab their place. Because there is...
It's a royal... By the way, 1 second. It's a royal speaking, so listen hard.
No. Because because waiting means what? It's not a right that just because... It is the right of the king who he gives it to. Nice. Like Mahendra Singh Dhoni gave it to Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
It wasn't the board and the selectors. It was Mahendra Singh Dhoni who picked Virat Kohli and said, I think you should take it on from here.
Yeah.
I feel that's how it should be, but at the moment that's not the case. Just to add one more thing, I at the moment don't know who runs this cricket team.
There's stunned silence in this room because nobody has an answer.
So see, there has to be one king, one leader, captain, or coach, or selector, or some authority, whoever it is. As long as you is very clear, then what Joyda says is perfect. Because then somebody who is having that conversation with you is responsible enough to deliver the conversation that is happening.
Power with responsibility.
You wanted to say something about kings at the time.
No, I wanted to say something about kings at the time. It's a very interesting thing. In royalty, and this is true all over the world, but especially in India and among Rajputs, there's a couple of things. One is the throne is never empty. The moment one king dies, the other king is immediately there. Once he's king, his father could have passed away, the priest will come to you and say that there is a body in the next room, what do I do with it? It's no longer a king. There is a body in the next room, what do I do with it? Because kingship is a virtue that is passed on to the living person. Wow. That person is no longer a king. And 3 times they will ask, what should I do with it? The king has to ceremonially say, take it to be burnt. Now, no matter how hurt he feels, how upset he is that his parent has passed away, now he is a king and that is a body. That's a dead body. Wow. So, like captaincy, you cannot have a vacancy. There is never a situation where you don't have a king, because in olden times that could mean disaster. So you always have to have a king. That's now a dead body. You are the king.
But here's the interesting thing here with captaincy. There's no dead bodies. There's enough captains sitting on the bench and around and in the team, and you're captaining them. Yeah, so that's interesting, because that means that king can come back.
Yeah. So
it's like Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones.
So like you said, there are so many kings. What does the Praja do? Which king do they listen to?
Yeah, you just sit back. You look at the gladiator arena. You just sit back. You grab some popcorn and you say the team should just keep winning. And Surya should just keep hitting hundreds.
But to be fair to the team's won. Last 3-4 years, they've won everything. Except for what, they prepare for. Everything else we won. Every series
the interesting thing he said. Everything except for they prepare for.
That's right, because the talk always is about World Cups. And that's not just us. We pick our cue from what is being prepared for, right? And that's what they're always talking about, preparing for the World Cup. So I guess...
I think it's time now that, there's a clear-cut style of play.
Yeah.
The Indian style of play. The Indian team at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you and I may want our team to play in a certain way. But they know what their best style is.
Yeah.
And that's how they play, because whether you play this way, that way, you're going to win some, like all the series that you won, and you're going to lose some, like the World Cups that you've lost.
Yeah.
But when you get there, you don't do what you've been doing through the year. That saddens. And that day when DK said that, we got there and we got worried and we didn't play, we thought the wickets have changed. I almost felt like we were back in our times, or 87, where you didn't know what happens in Australia. Yeah. I mean, if you're preparing for a year later, I'm sure everybody knew that, the wickets there are not going to be the same as here.
True.
So if you were preparing for that, then the style should have been prepared for there,
Fair.
not for here.
Fair.
So it was
India needs
it
a
was
style as well.
interesting to hear that perspective from somebody who was, part of that. And I felt he was probably the one who was left out at the last moment after backing him throughout.
Yeah.
The last few important games, you left him out. Although I wasn't one of those who believed he should have gone ahead of Rishabh in those first games. But once you had gone that way, then you had to go all the way.
Exactly. What did he do to change your?
Yeah, I mean, and it's your decision.
Yeah.
Same captain, same selector. Oh, now we're back to the same. I think we should call it a day.
No, we can't.
The wrong time of the night.
ODI series.
We get
We want
emotional.
to talk about that as well. We want to talk about the team for the ODI series because remember, there is an ODI World Cup that's happening this year. That's right. 23 is the World Cup that's being hosted by India. So, yeah, it's 2011 was hosted by India. You know what happened then? 2023 is being hosted by India. Hashtag no pressure, boys. No pressure. All right, but let's show the team. So there's plenty of ODI cricket that is to come. You're going to play against Sri Lanka, then you're going to play 3 against New Zealand, you're going to play against Australia. That's going to be before the IPL, and of course, lots happening after. Rohit Sharma returns. So Rohit Sharma is going to be the captain for the one-day team. Virat Kohli also returns. So Virat Kohli is also in the team. Bring, lao bhai, Sharma, mat. ODI squad dikha do. Lao. There you go. That's the big one in the green. I've highlighted it because it's happy news. It's Jasprit Bumrah who has been deemed fit to come back. So he's going to be there. But yeah, there you go. The 3 that you didn't see in this series, that was KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. They're there. Shreyas Iyer, who's been, of course, the king of ODI cricket for India batters last year, he's there. The 3 all-rounders, Hardik Pandya, Akshar and Washington Sundar, the same as the T20 team. And then the bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah, Chahal, Shami, Arshdeep, Mohammad Siraj, Kuldeep Yadav and Umran Malik. That's a solid team.
That's a team.
Yeah.
And that's a team where you say they all select themselves.
Yeah.
And now, I think the biggest problem of plenty, Joyda was talking, this is the biggest problem of plenty. Try and make an 11 out of it. I feel for Rohit Sharma and, whoever's making that decision with him there to pick an 11 from there because you can't leave a single bowler out.
Yeah.
I mean, for their performances and their quality and caliber, whether they're coming back. Look at that batting. You can't leave any one of them out for their performances and the caliber. Either the caliber or the performances that they've had in the last recent time. And the all-rounders when you look at it.
So we're going 5 batters, 2 all-rounders, 4 bowlers.
Good luck.
Okay?
Yeah, I mean, look, who is missing out here who could be a part of the World Cup? You look at it, Ravindra Jadeja, Rishabh Pant. And after that, you're struggling. And who maybe
I'm saying, Joyda, leave those 2. You pick me an 11 out of this.
Okay, so there you go.
This because no matter what you pick, there'll be somebody who will not be happy with
the
it.
class work for the 2 of you and homework for everyone watching at home. From the first column, you have to pick 5. From the second, you have to pick 2. That should be okay. From the third column, you have to pick 4. So come on. Come on. Pick 5. Chalo. Rohit, Virat, Shreyas, Surya.
How can you leave a man who's just got a double 100 in the last game
Ishan?
for India?
So is that it?
Yeah,
And then the captain who was in that team?
So Shubman doesn't play.
So I see Shubman. I can't see Shubman and KL Rahul being a part of that.
Wow.
I would go there.
Can you see? That's what I'm saying.
I would pick.
So Rohit and Ishan open, Virat at 3, Shreyas and Surya at 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay?
Then you come to Pandya 6.
You go Hardik Akshar maybe.
Hardik
or
Akshar,
Hardik Sundar.
Hardik Akshar currently on form.
Done.
So 6, 7.
Now the 4 bowlers.
I mean, Bumrah for me picks himself. Definitely Bumrah.
Arshdeep.
Definitely Arshdeep.
Now you're going Siraj or Shami?
I would go Siraj because he's the future. I love Shami. I think he's fantastic. But I think Siraj is the future. They have to persist with him. And I'd go for one more spinner.
So Chahal or Kuldeep, depending on conditions, maybe what do you want to do? Pick one of them. So pick the fast
You've left out Umran Malik now.
And
Right? So I'm not saying you've left out Arshdeep Singh.
Shami.
No, Arshdeep we picked.
Arshdeep we picked.
So here's what Joy has done. So here, pick your 4 bowlers from that.
Oh, it's a tough one. I mean, Jasprit Bumrah, you got to pick for sure. I'm going with, just for current,
Good.
I would go with Shami. Because
Okay, great.
Is no way I can leave him out.
Great.
I would go with Arshdeep Singh. He may not have had a good last couple of games, but that's the future. He's the only left armer
And one
that
spinner.
you're looking at. He's brilliant with the new ball. I think it's unfortunate that he's so good with the old ball that Indian team started using him with the old ball and not with the new. So I'd go with him, and I'd go with Umran Malik.
Oh, so you're going with 4 pieces?
Yeah, you said pick 4, right?
I said pick 4.
So basically, you have one spinner, which is Aksar.
No, I'm not going to pick Aksar there. Then I pick Chahal there. So I pick 4.
He's
Oh,
not
so
gone for
you're
the
picking
all-rounder.
5 batters, 1 all-rounder and 5 bowlers.
Yeah, because
Okay.
It's for a 50 over game, you're...
no, because
Started
batsmen picked are, don't forget, Rohit Sharma,
Yeah.
Virat Kohli,
Ishan Kishan, Surya, Shreyas.
right?
Hardik at 6.
So they all average
And then 5 bowlers.
They all average over 45-50. So that's 300 runs for me on their good day. Like what happened in the last 2020 game. What happened?
like it.
You had 7 batsmen. How much did you use? You never use all 7 batsmen.
Sir-
And when that 7th batsman is used, you never win that game.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you one question.
So
Yeah,
5
that's great.
bowlers.
I agree with you. But I'll just ask you one question. Out of the 5 bowlers that you picked, which is Bumrah, Shami, Arshdeep, Umran, Chahal, who's batting at number 7?
Whoever. Because
Naughty.
No, I totally agree. You will be short of
Whoever's padded up first.
Listen,
It's great. I like it.
I am firm believer. You look at numbers.
Yeah.
Number 7, 8, numbers you'll find 20 average, 5 average, how many balls they played. How many times does India win when your number 7 comes into play?
Correct. It didn't even happen in the last T20
No,
game.
and every time it comes into play, it only gives you hope for the next World Cup. Oh, yeah, we were so close with that 7th already. So now you need the 8th. I'll start from 2014 World Cup.
Yeah.
Or when Hardik Pandya arrived, Hardik and Ravindra, I remember, had that kind of knock. And even 2 games ago, when Akshar and Huda got that partnership, we won that game.
6 and 7.
No, the
we
one
lost it.
before that. So, that 7th...
that one. With Huda and Akshar, we won the game. With Akshar and Surya, we didn't win the game.
Yeah, right? So, 7th wala jo hai, that only gives you hope.
I like it.
It's a fact. Anybody who's followed Indian cricket, or the other teams may play differently. When we are 5-7 down, it's a different game.
I like what you're saying because it sticks to your...
So it's an aggressive play. I'm not saying it's a choice.
Panch pure bowler. Panch pure bowler khilao.
Sir, 5 से कम कोई जीतता नहीं है.
Yeah, so play your 5 bowlers.
World Cups उठा के देख लो, IPLs उठा के देख लो. ये average जो है ना, average is never the winner. There is winners and there is average.
Yeah, correct.
Winners, because you will win only if your top 3, 4, 5 score.
Yeah.
If your Rohit Sharma can't score, Virat Kohli can't score, Suryakumar can't score, you think that's number 7, somebody will come and score.
Yeah.
I only have one question for you.
Yeah.
You're going to play, where all are we playing? I think we're playing
In India, no, this is not for the World Cup. He's talking about now.
No.
World Cup is also India only.
So when you play these 4-5, by the time the World Cup comes, because I would play Ashwin in India in that World Cup.
Yeah,
If you ask me, because spin will be a...
So I think Kolkata you can play that because you're playing with effectively 5 fast bowlers, including Hardik and 1 spinner, Chahal.
Yeah.
Aren't we playing against the same Sri Lankan team?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So against this Sri Lankan team, I would play those 4 bowlers because it will clear out.
Yeah.
Chahal, you don't need to play now. You need to play him in the World Cup. But I'm saying spinner, whether it was Ashwin, because these are ready, whether you want him or not.
But we don't do that. No, the idea is to play Chahal from World Cup to World Cup and then not in the World Cup.
So you're being naughty.
So what happens? So at the end of the day...
But let's see the Sri Lankan team then.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the Sri Lankan team and see who's the personnel that they are turning toward. It's pretty much the same, as you can say. There's a few new names in there, but especially in the bowlers. So there you go. Let's have a look at the bowlers. There's Jeffrey Van der Sey who comes in. Then Pramod Madhushan. You have Dunit Villalage. Sorry.
They like Lahiru Kumara in the
Lahiru Kumara,
ODI version. They like him.
Dilshan Madhushanka and Mahesh Tikshana. So those are their bowlers. They're all-rounders, of course, captain. Adasun Shanaka, Hasaranga, Dhananjay De Silva and Karunaratne. And with their batters, you have Kushal Mendes, Nisanka, Fernando, Asalanka, Avishka, Fernando, Samar Vikrama and Ashin Bandara. You'll notice there is no Bhanuka Rajapaksha there.
No.
Right.
Well, he's left out today. So.
Left out
Not in the ODI. He's not part of the ODI setup. So, not a bad team, this one. And you saw, well, the first two games definitely in the T20 series were very well contested. The third one, of course, had India written all over it. But the ODIs, do you think the ODIs, I mean, the core of the team is pretty much the same as the T20I, but do you think that it's going to be evenly contested, or do you think it's going to be one-way traffic?
I think still India one-way traffic. The longer the game gets,
Exactly.
because even in a 20-over game, when I said the big score games, Sri Lanka's not competing against you with their batting, and their bowling also doesn't compete. So now we are talking of even a bigger game. So the batsman has to build an innings, be there for longer, get to that 350.
Yeah.
And where are we playing? Guwahati.
Trivandrum, Kolkata.
Kolkata. So Kolkata would be a big scoring game.
But a quick pitch. You could play.
Pitch has changed. You're right. Absolutely.
You could play 5 quicks there. No, but interesting. I mean, that's the one thing that he's saying, which I totally agree with. That the more you're going to go towards longer versions of the game in white ball cricket, also, the more our weight of the overall skill will play a bigger factor.
So you can play 6 batters and 5 bowlers. Come on.
It should.
5 batters,
5
1
all-rounder and 5 bowlers.
and 5 bowlers. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hardik is all-rounder, is counting as...
Yeah, counting Hardik. Okay, we're going to have the joy factor question and answer. Come on. Please, I am curious. #curious. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, here was a question. Somebody is Ajay Sharma, Vijay Merchant just behind him in the list, who tops the list and second only to Don Bradman internationally. And this is a cricketer who's been really making waves again. Absolutely fantastic season. Sarfaraz Khan, and 51 innings for India, and his batting average is 79.9, second only to Don Bradman. It's spectacular. And look, this is not 5 innings or 10 innings. He's played 30 odd matches, 51 innings, he's averaging 79.
Wow.
I mean, why is he not playing Test cricket for India is a question he should definitely be asking himself.
And also, most importantly, he's an answer to a joy factor question. So that's part of a very small list over there. Basically, it's a good week for anybody called Sarfaraz. Winner, is the winner a person called Sarfaraz as well? I wouldn't be surprised. Who got the first answer in? Come on.
Rohit Sutra. Yes, Rohit 18, I think, is a regular.
Is this a new name? It's a new person?
No. I think Rohit.
Is this a new account you've made and you answer your own question?
I've run out of accounts. Now with this Elon Musk, it's very difficult to make new accounts.
It costs you $8 every time.
How many regulars? You have a dream team there.
So
I'd like to.
There's a core about 25-30 which are very good.
Wow.
Among them, there are 4-5 who are super specialists, the Tanmayas of this world and the I am Rohits of this world. So I mean, they're
Crick Rohit.
So they are all super specialists. So yeah.
Love to interact with them and try and figure out how they look at the game. Huh?
Yeah, we should get them on a show.
Yeah, we should actually have a offset. No, what
Offsite?
Offsite or something.
Offsite.
Because there's perspective, and and I always believe that when you look at a game, I look at a game in one way. When I sit with Joyda, I learn a new thing. When you sit with someone else, there'll be something, because if these guys are so clued with the game, and in the numbers especially, that's why I want to meet them. Because they figure out Joyda's mind.
They understand numbers in a very different way from us.
We'd love to.
We should have.
I don't know.
We're going to have a conference.
Do something.
I'll do it. We'll have a conference. We'll call it the enjoy factor.
Yeah, enjoy factor.
Yeah, we got the enjoy factor, and we'll have it.
We must.
Please, our people will be in touch with you. Please come for our enjoy factor nerdy geeky camp. Okay. But that's all we have time for right now. We just want to, before we go, congratulate Joyda, because he got his power play predictions spot on. I've not forgotten. ताली बजाओ, सब बजाओ. ताली के पैसे नहीं मिले?
नहीं मिले.
अगली बार दे देंगे, sorry. लड्डू तो सबको. All right, well, that's all we have time for. We got to go now. Thank you so much for watching Cricbuzz Live. Got to thank Ajay Jadeja and Joy Bhattacharjya. Thank you, brothers.
Thank you. Lovely being with you.
Thank you.
As always.
My name is Gaurav Kapur, and on behalf of our entire crew here on Cricbuzz Live, it is good night for now. We will see you soon.